Hello everyone, in this video I'll be giving you an overview of the 5e Ranger Subclasses combined mod made by Sumradagnoth. This is based on D&D, containing the Fey Wanderer, the Horizon Walker, Monster Slayer, and the Primeval Guardian subclasses. Each of these has level 20 support and feels balanced within Baldur's Gate 3 for an exciting new way to play the game. So there's the Fey Wanderer here, which focuses on dealing additional psychic damage on their attacks. They also get some types of enchantment spells. They get like a Misty Step, and we'll show you more of that. I want to first start off with the Primeval Guardian. The Horizon Walker, there's been previously a Horizon Walker class mod that was available, and it's on console as well, but this one is nice as it has some different features from it. So you get the ability to detect portals here, gaining advantage on perception checks. You get your planar warrior form, which allows you to deal your next hit in full force damage and deal an additional 1d8, and it scales up. And then you also get the protection from good and evil. Monster Slayer lets you target somebody here with their Slayer's Prey. You can designate a target as your prey, and the first time you attack that turn with a weapon attack, it receives an extra 1d6 damage each turn. In addition, you get the Hunter's Sense here. You can, till the next turn, you next attack against your prey will ignore damage resistances and immunities. But I'm going to first start off with the Primeval Guardian, because I think this one's really cool. So you get the Piercing Thorns, which deals an additional 1d6 of piercing damage on your attacks. Piercing damage is really good in Baldur's Gate 3 due to the ballast armor. We also get the Guardian form here, which reduces our movement speed, but it turns us into literally Groot. So kind of like what you can imagine there. There's actually images that shows what the characters end up looking like. It's actually really cool. So yeah, you sacrifice your movement speed, but you become large. And then you also get access to some special abilities. And we also get the Entangle spell as well. Once we hit level 5, we get the Enhance ability spell here. And once we hit level 7, we get the Ancient Fortitude. Whenever we use our Guardian form, our maximum and current health points will increase by 14, which scales up as you increase in level. At level 9, you get the Venomous Barbs here. Imbue a friendly animal's melee attacks with an additional 1d4 of piercing, or 1d... that can also poison for 1d4 poison damage. Creature must have intelligence of 3 or less. Now this is cool. Once we hit level 11, we get the Rooted Defense. When we're in our Guardian form, the ground within 9 meters of you is difficult terrain for our enemies. Upon hitting level 13 with the level 20 mod, we get Grasping Vine, which is a nice bonus action ability. And level 15 gives us the Guardian Aura here. Whenever you're in our Guardian form, allies within 9 meters of you gain 7 health points at the start of their turn if they have less than half their health points. So you can heal your allies and provide difficult terrain for enemies. Upon hitting level 17, you get Insect Plague, very useful spell to have. Now just know there is not any higher level spells here that you can get, unfortunately, from this one, but that's just the nature of it. So with our Guardian form, you can go ahead there and transform. I am Groot. Yeah, you can see there, pretty cool. I love the aesthetic there. It also gives you those viney legs, and yeah, it even transforms your weapon. I'm using the Viper Carbine mod there. You also do move a little bit slower, but yeah, you create that healing aura there, which will do half your ranger level rounded down. So that's 9 health points there, eventually 10. And then you can end this as a bonus action if you want to regain your movement speed. But I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, that is the Ancient Primeval Guardian subclass. Really fun and unique to play as. And next up is the Monster Slayer here. And I love this image here. Gives it a cool Bloodborne-esque feel. The Monster Slayer, you get the Hunter Sense through magical discernment. Monster Slayers can pass through a creature's defenses, so that's how we ignore their resistance and immunity to damage types using the Hunter Sense there, so you can theoretically hit things that are immune to damage type. Kind of cool. And the Slayer's Prey, which gives you that 1d6 piercing damage on top of your normal weapon damage once per turn, but this does not require a spell slot. And again, protection from good and evil. At level 5, we get Sea Invisibility. Upon reaching level 7, we get the Supernatural Defense. Whenever prey forces you to make a saving throw, whenever you make an ability check to escape that target's grapple, add a 1d6 to your roll. So, following the grapple rule set in Dungeons and Dragons. A 1d6 added to saving throws is very nice. Upon reaching level 9, remove Curse. And at level 11, this is a cool feature, you get the Magic User's Nemesis. So, you nullify another creature's spell as a reaction. This creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw to avoid being counterspelled. So it's basically like a counterspell. It does not require you to use a spell slot. However, they can resist that counterspell with a wisdom save. So harder to succeed against like a druid or a cleric, but easier to succeed against like a wizard. Upon reaching level 13, we get the Banish spell, or Banishment. This is a really cool ability. At level 15, we get the Slayer counter. So whenever you're forced to make a saving throw, you can use reaction to make one weapon attack against the quarry. And if the attack hits, your save automatically succeeds in addition to the attack's normal effects. You can see why this is pretty powerful. So yeah, if you're forced to make that save, you can go, not today, and stab them and then succeed on that save. It's really useful. And at level 17, you get Hold Monster, which is a really, really good spell to get at this level. And what's nice about Hold Monster is it can make some fights a lot easier, especially if you're the ballast armor and crossbow expert. You can go up close and do crossbow attacks with, like, if there's multiple enemies nearby, you can use the Arrow of Many Targets and then hit critical hits, which also will be doubled from the ballast armor. So some pretty powerful strategies there. For a lot of these abilities, you do require to have a prey here to be able to use the things like the Hunter Sense there. Seems to be marked Shadowheart as the prey. Then we can go ahead here with our Hunter Sense, which allows us to ignore resistance and immunity. So pretty cool ability there. Yeah, Hunter Sense. Not always going to be the best choice because it does require you to use an action, but if you know you're going to get yourself into a combat encounter with maybe like an assassin multi-class, you can jump in with something like that. I think the biggest beneficial ability is the bonus or the reaction to attack someone that forces you to make a saving throw and then forcing them out of that attack or spell. And next we have the Horizon Walker subclass. This gives us the Detect Portal, gaining advantage on perception checks. Planar Warrior, again, turning our damage type into force and dealing additional damage on top of that. Now, what's great about this is you get the ability to teleport around while fighting. At level 5, we get Misty Step, which is good on anybody in the game. Into level 7, we get the Etherealness, which when you enter the ethereal plane for one turn, when in there, you can only be affected by other creatures that are in that plane. Creatures that aren't on the ethereal plane can't perceive you and can't interact with you, and you ignore all objects and effects that aren't on the ethereal plane. So that's another thing that's kind of something you'd use in tabletop D&E to switch to the other form and then maybe fight someone else there. It's an interesting ability. Level 9 gives us haste. Don't need to explain that one, it's good. Level 11 gives us the Distance Strike. When you use an attack action, you can teleport up to 3 meters before each attack to an unoccupied space you can see. If you attack at least 2 different creatures with the action, you can make one additional attack with the same action against a third creature. And then you also get the Distance Strike teleport. As part of your attack action, teleport up to 3 meters to that unoccupied space. This is actually a pretty powerful ability. Getting that extra attack off is quite nice. Level 13 gives us Banishment. And level 15 gives us Spectral Defense. Your ability to move through planes enables you to slip through the planar boundaries to lessen harm done to you during battle. Level 17 gives us Far Step, level 5 Conjuration spell. It's a concentration that lets you teleport your entire team. So here we got our Planar Warrior here, which you're going to apply to somebody, which will make your next attack deal force damage. So if you were to go and attack them, I'm just going to go with a punch. Boom, force punch. So yeah, it's pretty nice. And on top of this, we also have our Distance Strike teleport, which will, as part of our attack action, you can teleport to 3 meters, and then you get that free third attack. So you go boom, boom, attack 2 targets, free third attack. So gives you something a little bit different to play with in combat. I'd recommend using piercing weapons because that just works best. Getting in close range with the ballast armor is going to be your likely best ability here. So, and then you also get the Etherealness here, which can let you teleport to the planar realm. So yeah, we're out of combat. No one can hit us for an entire turn. And then we pop back in, we're good to go. And finally, we have the Fey Wanderer here. Now, this gives us Dreadful Strikes. When you hit a creature with a melee attack, additional 1d4 of psychic damage, and which can take this damage only once per turn. We also get the Otherworldly Glamour. You have a bonus charisma check equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum +1. Pretty cool. Also, what's interesting is if you play this class in D&D, you can roll a die and you make your character smell like nutmeg, so that's something to consider as well if you're into D&D. But you also get the Charm Person enchantment spell. You also get to take a skill proficiency in either Deception, Performance, or Persuasion there. I'd recommend always taking the Persuasion. And we get Misty Step at level 5. It's always nice to have that. Level 7, Beguiling Twist. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed and frightened. When you or another creature you can see within 36 meters succeeds on a saving throw against being charmed or frightened, you can attempt to charm or frighten a random creature within that 36 meters of you. It's kind of cool. So yeah, make a twist. If yeah, an advantage is always useful against those two. And at level 9, we get Counterspell. Again, really effective to have that on another character. Having 2 counterspells per turn is kind of, it's really good. And at level 11, we get the Fey Reinforcement, so you can cast Summon Fey without using a spell slot. And it also gives you the spell, which is from Mistress Spells here, so you get the Fuming, Mirthful, or Trixie's version. And you can cast Summon Fey without requiring concentration. Doing so reduces its duration to 1 minute, so you only have it for a set amount of time, and I'll show off that summon as well. Level 13 gives us Dimension Door, so useful to take our teammates around. And level 15, you get the Misty Wanderer. You can cast Misty Step without using a spell slot equal to your Wisdom modifier, so that's really good. And when you cast Misty Step, you can teleport one ally within 1.5 meters to an unoccupied space beside you. Also very good. And the Misty Wanderer, you can slip into the Feywild to move in the blink of an eye. And you also get a level 17 Seeming. Not good, but I mean, it's something. You can disguise 4 members of your party. It could be good if you have a lot of Gith Yankee items. You can just turn them all into Gith, and yeah, it's, I guess, one option. So with this Summon Fey, we got the Fuming, Mirthful, or Trixie. So when you summon them, they each have their own different abilities there. And this is from Mistress Spells. It's running around there for some reason. But then you got this Summon here, which looks like Dolly Thrice. This one here has the multi-attack, doing additional force damage, flourishes, piercing strike, and main hand weapon attacks. Now, another thing to mention, you're not normally going to put the Hunter's Mark on your teammates, but that's why everyone is avoiding this severely. So you can see it's kind of funny seeing even Withers running away. But yeah, that is the 5e Fighter or Ranger subclass combined, now available on console. We're hoping that we'll see the Cleric subclass combined mod. I've covered breakdowns of each of the subclass combined videos and even the Purple Dragon Knight Fighter. Highly recommend downloading Sumradagnoth's mods. They're incredible. And let me know what kind of Baldur's Gate 3 mod content that you would like to see next. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an incredible day, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.